What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to yet another episode of the Talk Track. As per usual, we're at Plot 8B, Gavula Road, the Barrow House, and official home of the Kara Junkies. What up? Mama Barrow just joined us. Shout out to Mama Barrow is in the house, ladies and gentlemen, giving us the space to do what we do and what we love and engage in very interesting conversations. As usual, the Talk Track is an independent production of the Kara Junkies. It's produced, edited, sound mixed, and shot by Morris, aka Moro Moro, aka No Longer Mukono Moja, aka the man with two cameras at the moment, aka the only Rastafarian from Western Uganda, aka the OG Kara Junkie, aka the father of the Kara Bike, aka we're sorry. Oh, Professor. Yeah, we'd forgotten that one. He's also known as Professor. Ladies and gentlemen, I will be your host for the evening. As usual, my name is Roy, aka Kamada, aka The Alchemist, aka Nofachi Neviansi, aka Ochawa Ginamaniu, which I still do, aka Argentina is winning the World Cup. Okay. Wow. See, I knew Godwin was going to argue. It is fine. Let me tell you, you can hate, but the man is taking home a second World Cup.
We hated on Arsenal till it lost the Champions League. Argentina will not be any better.
Let it all work out. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here with us tonight. Who did we lose this week? We lost someone this week for the music lovers. Did we lose Bonnie Tyler? Yeah, we did. And that was, I don't know, there's just something about 2026 and the people that this year has taken from us. And I'm not like throwing shade on 2026 or anything, but there's just something that's been unusually consistent about loss this year that I think we've all felt at a certain level. And you know, for those that loved Bonnie Tyler's music, for those that were close to Bonnie Tyler, I know if they ever get to watch this, rest in peace to Bonnie. But she did bring smiles to our faces. You know, she had some really nice music out there. Rowena has danced to her music before. There's a time she was on the table here. It was Bonnie Tyler nights. She was panditable and do panditable. She was good. Let me tell you, any sufficient amount of alcohol in your system and any broken part of your body will start to function. Now, whether or not it functions properly the next day, that is on you. But at that moment, just any sufficient amount of alcohol will turn you into anything. Like you become Robocop. Yeah. But like a man was dead, they literally woke him up to, they couldn't let him rest. Like, you're dead. No. Wake up, man. Come, we're going to make you a robot and a policeman. I just wanted to give a special shout out to Bonnie Tyler, though. We are final stages of the World Cup. For those of you guys that have been watching, congratulations to the hate watchers. There's only one team left that I think is facilitating all the hate in the world. We jumped from, as Africans, we jumped from South Africa, went to Morocco, those all left. So I think we've all universally agreed, well, some people have universally agreed that we're going to hate on Lionel Messi. I can see everyone there just going, yes.
I told you, sitting in the car.
There's a whole...
Africa we shall hate.
And what's even worse is that they're playing England in the semi-finals. So that is... There's people who love Jude Bellingham, people who are willing to have kids with Jude Bellingham. So I don't know. But yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting semi-final. But what we're going to talk about today, though, is heavily inspired. Well, I thought about it when I was watching a TV show on Netflix. And the TV show is called I'll Find You. It's basically a story about a father who was falsely accused for killing his son and then sent to jail, and then somehow finds out that the son might be alive and there was a whole conspiracy, and then breaks out of jail and goes to significant lengths to find his son and prove his innocence. But behind everything that he was doing, you could say and see from the character development in the show that this person was driven specifically by love and love of the son and commitment to the son, right? And so what really I want us to explore today is how far are we willing to go for the things that we love? It could be a person, it could be a family member, it could be something that you've built from the ground up, like a business or a drug cartel. Still the same thing. But how far are you willing to go to nourish, to nurture, to protect? And in the event that you lose, how far are you willing to go to get back the things that you love? Yeah? It's things that you love.
Things that you love.
It could be a person, could be a business.
But things
Like
that you
in
love.
Mutawe's case, a drug cartel.
Yes,
That man is a
yes,
kingpin right there, by the way, in case you didn't know.
I can run one legally because I'm a pharmacist.
Because exactly what I was saying.
So by law,
Pablo Escobar.
by law, but I should have a premise. I think we shall deal with Rowena. She has the funds. But I think that depends on. There's certain interesting verse which says, "Where your treasure is, your heart is," and the vice versa is the same. It depends how much you treasure it. So how much you treasure it determines the lengths to which you'll go for it. Minus that, and because whatever things we have in life, or we build up in life, or we find in life, you build up something. So to the extent of how much you're into it, you'll do funny things for it. People do a bit of surgical blades to Asta medics. To the ones on the streets, they call them pangas. To the ones in homes, they call them frying pans. And a bit of screwdrivers to those who have watched those interesting flicks where the lady, Basic Instinct, the lady would kill the guy after. Yeah, so it just determines how much you love it. So you can either go psychopath ways, or you can have that bit of like controlled, but it is to the extent of that is why sometimes we tell people to love with reservations, because the deeper you love something, the worse it gets. At some point they'll say now the heartbreak will become deeper, but that, yeah, imagine you've built a business, you've put your everything there, then one day, yeah, some enforcement team comes and takes a container. Yeah, you know what it is. Yeah, you know what it is. So
this one's already saying we shall fight.
Yeah. No, because to that note, I think we all of us here in Uganda know how the trade order worked. They took businesses. They'll just wake up one morning, you come, then some guy commented, "Can you believe the lady who had signed a full sum for food, they just taken the container?" You understand, they're going to fast in that semester. So long as we put, now to us who are married, as we say, to death do us part. Of course, even reaching there was, I put my heart to it. So right now, if you find me with a surgical blade to your neck, understand, I've invested something to it. And this is, and investments are not, usually when someone has investment, they usually assume it's money, but it's not really money. Investments is time, emotion, so much. So love is very interesting. We shall panga you, we shall do everything, because so long as you love it, we go extreme lengths.
I think all of us are going to say pretty much along the same lines, yes? That when you love something, you're going the extra mile. But then there are times when you feel like, sometimes I keep telling people, intensity can lead to giving up. Where, yeah, it can, because where you feel like, okay, I rather not insist and push on something. Let's see where it's going. Like, you realize that it's just going to be worse if you insist, you know? So, you know the old saying that if something is yours, let it go, it will come back to you. I think that's what they meant in simple terms.
Jude Bellingham and Erling Haaland.
Maybe that's what they meant, yes, in like simplifying it. Because sometimes the intensity of it, or when you want something so much, you can give up. Yes? And I think that's a conversation that we sometimes avoid. Or we shall constantly say, no, I'll fight for it. What happens when you fight for something and it still doesn't go your way? You know? So sometimes, I mean,
But that's a very good question. What actually happens when you fight for something you love and it still doesn't go your way? I saw Jocelyn nodding her head when Rowena actually said that, and I'd like someone to just expound on that a little bit. What happens when you fight for something you love and it still doesn't go your way? Because as Rowena put it, when we love something, it's human nature. We're going to work under the assumption that it loves us back, right? I love Manchester United. Manchester must love me. It has no. I've seen no.
Your
no.
ex will break your heart.
That's exactly. It's the hope that
Cristiano
kills.
Ronaldo showed Manchester a hairy backside.
Harry, that one.
On the second time, it was on record. Cristiano did it wonders. So right now they're seeing him shine that side in Saudi Arabia. First in Man U, you know what happened.
Exactly. But
they brought him back for round 2 and he did us wonders.
we still love the team.
We love that team, not the person.
I don't know if it loves us back. But yeah, what happens in the event that you love something, but you're fighting for the something you love, and that something you love doesn't love you back? So is it worth it in the end? Do you keep pushing, or do you just be like Ronaldo and then go to Al Nassr?
I think that first you have to align with something, our times we try to force ourselves onto things, if you're not in alignment with what you love, then that's when you get disappointed and heartbroken. Now what happens, what Rowena said, that if you love something, you don't have to forcefully try to hold on to it. Let go. If you're in alignment with it, whether business or personal relationship, then it will get back to you. But the more you try, the harder it gets for you, and before you know it, you lose yourself. That's when people do evil things and you go to a certain extent that it is not really human. So let it be.
Oh, papers coming in. Zahar, I don't know English. Mm-hmm. When you say you have to be aligned with the thing you love, what did you mean? Because that one skipped my. I was, the moment you said that, I stopped listening from there. I was like, what is going on after this?
No, okay. For example, let me say personal relationship. That's what we can easily relate, most of us. Yeah. So if, for example, if I loved you and you don't have the same energy for me, you don't love me back, or you don't appreciate me the way I do, then we are not in alignment.
Have you heard?
You're in a different planet, and then also I'm trying. So if I try to push, that's when I start frustrating you, frustrate myself, frustrate everyone around me, keep on complaining and ABCD. So that's what I'm trying to. Yeah.
Sandra, you wanted to say something? No, Rowena whispered in my ear. I was like, Sandra has something to say. Sandra has something to say. Okay. So far what we've seen, we've acknowledged, okay, if you love something, you're going to go above and beyond for it, right? Godwin said it really heavily depends on how much you treasure the thing that you love, right? Zahara has brought in the point of alignment. It is easy to fight for something you love if you're aligned with the thing that you love, right? Especially with personal relationships. If I love you and I know you love me back, I'll fight for you. If I don't, or if I love you and you know you don't, then it gets frustrating. But let's take it away from interpersonal relationships. And I know, because we're human beings, we want to speak about it from the human concept, right? How I interact with another human being, right? But remember, the thing about love when it comes to us as humans is it's going to go beyond just people, right? I love this person, but I love my house, and I love my car, and I love my business, and I love my PlayStation, and I love my soccer team, right? Oh, yes. Yeah, no, we're going to keep coming. We're going to keep coming back to that one, right? So when it comes to interpersonal relationships, I think there is an element of control, because we can understand, right? But how far are we willing to go for the things that we love that are not interpersonal relationships? You've heard stories of people and their businesses, right? This person has started this business from the ground up. He has started this business from scratch, and then a competitor comes up, and that person decides, you know what? Let's go traditional, just a little bit, just a little bit, things like that, right? So obviously, okay, let's talk about the concept of greed. Let's just focus on love. That person is presumably doing that because they love their business so much, they treasure that thing that they built, that they're willing to go above and beyond, even go through some crazy stuff to ensure that thing stays with them or that thing succeeds, right? So how far then is too far? How far is too far? Like when it comes to love, because people, there is a saying that says all's fair in love and war, right? That means the playing field is severely open. Like anything can go when it comes to love and war. That is how I understand that saying. All is fair in love and war, right? If I'm in love with someone, or if I'm in love with something, or if I like something, or I treasure something, then I am supposed to be willing to do anything and everything to ensure that I succeed, or that thing stays with me, or something like that, right? So how far is too far? Because all is fair in love and war, so how far is too far?
I think once I start to feel drained, that's already too far. Because come on, we're at a point. I think when we were younger, you'd say, I would do anything. Well, today, if I feel drained just a little bit like this, exit, I have already seen the exit before it even traces me. Because whether it's in business, whether it's in love, whether it's in friendships, guys, all this energy we're using whilst we're alive, when I am gone, you'll be there saying, but while I'm here, I want to live and I've enjoyed peace. You know? And that's why I keep telling people, it's not easy to accept, by the way, that even with business or relationships, yes, that when you'll hear someone like me say, oh guys, once I feel drained, the first thing I think of is exiting. Yes, it's not easy. I didn't say it's easy. Yeah. But what I'm saying is, I think being drained leads to being sick, both physically and mentally. It means it's now boring. Something is not working. Everything is boring. Every time you're thinking, what do I do next? Now what thing next? Now what this kawan? You know those things. I mean, you won't even sleep properly. You know? And yeah. So I think once it begins to drain me, you can push. Because, I want this to work. I want my business to work. I want my friendships to work. I want my relationship to work. But then at some point you're like, hold up. Vachi. I am drained.
No fudge.
You even moisturize, the moisturizing doesn't moisturize. Because your mind is not at ease. You be there and go see who say. People are like, I'm Rona had happened. Because she was sick. Wow.
The thing you love is draining you.
The thing you love is draining you.
Yeah. Mom.
So, as you get older, you realize whether it's business, and I keep telling people, it's not the end of the world. But somehow, you get back up and you're like, guys, I thought I was going to die when things were refusing. And God says, well, you're still here. You know, and there's still more coming. So you realize that since there are many coming, let me not allow myself to drain. Let me save some energy for the next venture.
Mama Water, how are you?
I think I'm very good.
Yeah, it is good to see you.
Thank you.
Congratulations on your win yesterday.
Thank you.
Yeah, raw nonsense.
Team England, by the way. We trust the raw. So as she was this topic is very, very complicated. Like it's
that's why
there isn't a direction to it. Like you can literally argue any part and be like, but in its own form, everyone is right. In like she was talking, I'm like, okay, there is truth. But then also I'm like, in this era of individualism, like we tend to think about ourselves way too much that we give up. Once it's draining me, I'm out of it. I don't, there's a lot of those book quotes on social media. You read and you're like, yeah. So it's promoting, not caring about other people. And the fact that people have their own weaknesses. And if we are speaking love that we are talking about, he started with the movie that I really loved. But I want to take us back to the movie, to a certain line. There was when this gentleman was told that the child is not his. That so that is a point. You're like, I'm looking for this child. I thought it was mine, but it's not even mine. You know, that's a point to give up. You're like, fuck it, let me just prove. Okay. Parental guidance is allowed.
It's okay. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, we have to put a disclaimer at the start of the episode.
I came in late. I wasn't sure you did that. but that is, if I bring it back to personal relationships, like we're talking, it's very easy. You look into things and it's very easy to be like, okay, let me care about my freedom. Let me now care about proving this child is there, and I just walk out of this old situationship. But this man said, he recalled this child when he received it, and like, no matter what, whether blood or not, it is mine. So what am I going into? Sometimes, yes, when things are draining us, we choose to give up, but then I want to let us know it's also a sign of weakness on our side. Then also, if it is love, because we are talking love, if it is love, if you choose to walk away and you really cared about Morris, if I wake up and say, okay, I think this is the point where I walk away. If I loved Morris, it's not going to be in a way of Morris is evil or whatever. It's going to be, I care about Morris, but between the both of us, things are not working. I think it will be better to love Morris in a distance. And I want to assure them that I will be around if they need me or whatever. So I care, that will be love.
So you know why I think it's not working out between Olivia and Morris? They decided to get the same hair.
Yeah.
Yes. Morris was using all of Olivia's products.
So I want to say, Olivia, that I get what you're saying, and I do appreciate that eventually she goes, yeah, because it's still choosing you. Yeah, it's exit doesn't mean you leave burnt bridges. Yeah? Sometimes the bridges need to be burnt, sometimes the bridges don't need to be burnt. But you're choosing yourself at the end of the day. So I don't want to call it entirely selfishness, because you see, by the time you choose to give up or when you feel drained, that means you have tried a couple of times. You don't get drained immediately. Because when you feel like your life is being sucked out of you, it doesn't happen in a week, yeah, or a month. It means it has been going on for a while. And the thing is about interpersonal relationships or love, it's different with like business or the internet. You're not going to tell the business, love me back. You know? But again, if the business is not showing profits, that is it not loving you back?
Are you sure? Because you have to talk to the business nicely, man. This guy is
Of course. So I think,
like, walk with me, baby girl, walk with me.
I know, right? Affirmations and stuff. But I think at the end of the day, it's easier to explain in interpersonal relations. That means it's not a one way. I can't be the only one putting in the work. So if I'm giving up, we all have weaknesses, fine. But while we have weaknesses, have we both tried? Because by the time on this side I feel drained, or on your side you feel drained, someone is pulling the weight more than the other. That is when the exit comes in. Not that you gave up, but even like you said, you can give up nicely. I will still love you from far.
Stop using each other's hair products. People. Brain box. Oh, someone had something. Ah, okay. There's opinions that have been going the other side. Now they should come here. They've been going to Clinton. Now they should come to us.
It's just a thought process through all the conversations that are going on. And I'm thinking, when do you know that you're already in too far or you're draining? Because sometimes it's hard to realize that until you get that awakening moment that I'm actually losing myself. And that is the point you realize this is too far. Like, it can be business, like you say, it can be a personal relationship. And you come to a point you realize, I am not doing the things I used to love doing anymore. I used to hang out with friends. I used to go out, maybe outdoor doing stuff. I'm not doing that because my mind is so preoccupied thinking about this thing that I love, the business, the person, or whatever it is that you're talking about, you're attached to. And that's the point you realize it's too far. Unfortunately, it's a point that we don't actually realize early enough or quick enough until it has passed a certain level, or a good friend wakes you up that this is too far. So for me, at this point in time, I would say what I wouldn't have said probably 2, 3 years or 4 years ago, that learning to love from the first time is learning to love and detach and let go at the same time, at the point of the start. If I'm saying that I love you, or this is my business, I love it, I have to be able to also know that maybe at some point you will not be mine, or this business will not be mine. So I have to love and work towards that point, that if at a certain point this is not for me, I should live beyond it. So is loving and at the same time keeping close to you those things that you love, that help you, that when I'm not here, I can always do that. If it's a person, let them be their own person, be your own person. If it's business, invest your time, invest your money, whatever it is, but still put that line, have people run it independent of you. And whatever it is, you try to find that line between the love and detaching and letting go from the point of the start. But that, as I've said, is something I can say now. I wouldn't have said it. I wouldn't have said the same 3-4 years ago. So it's knowing yourself and trying to make all those alignments, and sometimes let the universe align the things for you.
Damn. Okay, wait. I have like 6 follow-up questions. I just don't know where to start from. No, but that was really beautifully put, because initially when we started the conversation, we talked about how far we are willing to go for the things that we love, right? And somewhat speaking, how far you're willing to go depends on how willing you are to let something go, right? Because the more you keep believing that thing is yours, that thing is meant to be yours, that thing is meant to work out, even at the point when realistically speaking, it cannot work out, you will keep pushing yourself. I am going to fight Manchester United. But I am going to fight.
By the way, there's a thin line between love and obsession.
Proceed from there.
Because the thing, you see, when you start going to the extremes, okay, usually it's also okay, but usually by obsession you're no longer thinking right. No, by obsession, you're no longer thinking right. Because obsession, therein, anything which comes into your ears, it goes out to the other ear. Or it just does some reaction whereby the one saying it will receive, and I shall go back to my obsession. No, because I was telling Jocelyn something interesting. It's like when you find a man who has built an empire through betting. I know, my fellow men know what we mean by that. When you have built an empire through betting, then you meet this beautiful...
I feel like you should say hypothetically, because what is that even?
No, it's a thing which you ladies might never understand. You'll find a guy moving around, he has his 8 to 5, then he has his extra income, side income, and he has built something through betting. And then this lady comes and says, leave Patel alone. They're like, woman, do you know that even the car you are sitting in is by Patel? Do you know that even the house you are coming into is by Patel? Do you expect Micah 8 to 5, then Rujoki removes his 30% to sustain whatever things you're seeing around here? Surely, and I'm not telling you that I'm selling drugs.
But it could go wrong and you lose everything.
No, that the best part about it is actually, I was actually having a point here which was saying, it is a hope. Love usually moves alongside hope that things will work out. So usually the hope can go overboard to the point of obsession that actually it's that bit whereby now that is now past hope. It is that bit whereby it shall work. It is now it shall work. Come and buy and buy. I swear I will beat the hell out of anything which tells me it won't work.
But that's what she's asking. At what point do we then
At
know
what
that
point?
we've
In obsession,
exceeded?
you can no longer
we've gone.
think.
At what
She
point?
said it is 4 years after. No, imagine 4 years after, and now 4 years after is that bit whereby because the issue there's an interesting point which I actually had in my head, which is in life we have givers and takers, and this is beyond people. Even businesses, they can give and take. The only issue is the issue which we have to find ways around is what things are giving and what things are taking. Because, for example, if I read a book, it can be giving. Now, if I got the business, it might be taking. I can be, though sometimes we can have so many of takers, whereby you feel like there's a deficit in your life. Therein, that is why usually, as my sister Anna said, you want to surround yourself with some positive energies, because sure, the ones going to take are there, and they will be there. By default, in the world we are living in, we have takers. They will be there, whether you want it, whether they shall stress you out. For example, there are things which you cannot let go of. If I have a child, whether they piss me off, whether they make me run mad, I cannot let go of that responsibility. I will have to laugh.
But you've reminded me of something, and I want to put this out. In my language, they say, "Impankuhe nizongonzi tafa." Give and take is the love that never what? Dies. So whether it is business, if you keep putting it is taking at Eziko, even you, that's when you're like, I'm drained. Even in relationships, you're giving.
But the betting paper gives back.
Let me tell you, wait. Giving, and even in friendships, even in relationships, I can't be the only one going out of my way. But for you, every time, we all have flaws. That is what you have to say. What happened to once in a while? Gwenga friend, gwenga husband, gwenga boyfriend, gwenga business. The businesses could talk.
The business had a good
betting. What I'm trying to say is that it's a give and take situation. You can't be on the end that is always taking, because the world is going to say, well, to be honest, we all have our flaws, and you're leaning into that bit. Yeah? Because then it will not work. Because like I said, when someone is carrying the heavier load, someone is going to do that. Yeah?
All right, now, if first wait, because that was actually hilarious. In terms of, we've gotten to the point where we've discussed, the physical and emotional toll that not understanding when to let go has on us, right? We've even brought in the dynamics of give and take, right? But I just want to go back to something that was hinted on earlier. There is this very famous, it's now Urban Dictionary, but where they said the Lulu is a Solulu, right? Like, for you to succeed in life, you must approach life with a certain level of delusion of everything will work out, right? Like, I'm going to move in that direction. You're clearly seeing a snake there, like, but it want to bite me, I'm going to walk. But like that kid who stoned an alligator and he thought he'd get away with it. Well, he kind of did, but it was narrowly, right? But then they say that, the Lulu is a Solulu. Like, there has to be a certain level of delusion you must employ for you to achieve a certain success in life, right? we have spoken about how far are we willing to go for the things that we love, right? And that statement alone implies that we are employing a certain level of delusion, because if I'm willing to go to a certain extent for something, it means I have the belief that that something is going to work out, right? So, and this is it's a tricky question, but I think you guys can all speak on it. Is it possible to love something but be realistic in that love? Honestly speaking, is
In
it
the
possible?
beginning.
And not with hindsight. I'm not saying with the
In the
benefit of
beginning, yes.
hindsight, but is it possible to love something and be
In the
realistic about that love?
Um, okay. Yes, I do believe that you can really love something, go all the way far, but also be very realistic that actually it might not reciprocate. That was what I was thinking about when she was speaking here. Yeah. So you just have to expect anything. Yes, you can put in all the effort and all that, but at some point, of course, it might not actually work out the way you expect. So I think we should really balance our expectations. Yes, it's good to be very hopeful and believe that, okay, if it works out, well and good. But if it doesn't work out, okay, what am I going to do about it? Maybe you need to get back to the drawing board and see a different approach that you can use to try again. I don't usually believe in just giving up just like that because something has not really worked out or it's not, giving back the same energy. You can still go back on the drawing board and try all the other ways. There is that scientist who invented the bulbs. He tried how many times? Was it 400 or 1,000?
999.
Yes, and of course that final time the thing worked. Yes, though I can't use that approach. Okay, being realistic, I try core, but if things don't really work out, I'm not going to really die on it. It's not a matter of life and death.
But you know that when we are loving the things that we love, we are intentional about it, right? And we hopefully look forward to things working out. So these things of being realistic, to me, it's on paper that you have to be realistic, not that I have to exit at one time. But as human nature, if I decide that I'm doing ABCD and it's what I'm willing to do, so at any point, I don't think that if I'm intentional about it, I'm seeing myself exiting. So I don't think that maybe that realistic stories and blah, 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 they come towards the end when you're like, you know what, I've really tried, but I've failed. But in the beginning, with the right intentions, I don't think that it is true.
But also, but also we are forgetting, Olivia and I were talking here and we're like, we are forgetting things like personalities, who you are as a person, or what has shaped from your past experiences. That's why she said 4 years ago, So yes, so the experiences and who we are as a people. Olivia was saying now for us who are Aries, you just burn the bridge. But yes, you burn the bridge or you rebuild it brick by brick, So it also depends, I think, on who we are as people and also our experiences. Sometimes it's upbringing. There's so many factors. So some people know how to approach things with the, like someone's with all the they're armed. You get, yeah? Some people are like, I shall sit and wait for the storm. So it depends on who we are, our experiences. But like Olivia said, some of us who are Aries, you burn or you build.
Yeah, because people have been talking and I've been thinking about that difference. And then how many tests we've had to do. And then you see you get the same results. For it is love. We're going to love 100%. Like, there isn't a quarter left for me for reservation. It might be easy for him. So there is those personalities. Then there is that, like he said, Aries. There's other people that are born in different months and they have different energies and strength that we don't have. And then also thinking about, some people have been talking about give and take, but we all receive love and give love differently. So this topic is very broad because it's like me. If you are texting me, I am the most boring person you ever meet. Because I'm going to say hi. Because it's not me. Like I'm not used that way. But meet me. You're going to meet two different people. You're going to meet me like, yo, this one. And you're going to confuse yourself that you're going to text me and I'm going to be the same person. Like, there's two different people there. So there is that, like taking time to understand the people before we feel I am drained. I text her a lot of time. I tell her like 10 sentences. She replies with 2. So this is... It does. For you, you're draining. For you, you're draining. But
I must have known by then.
but do you take time to know me before you get drained?
Yes. I can't just drain.
All right, so we're still on can we realistically can we love and be realistic about the love that we are putting forward, right? It is hard to be realistic.
You can be there telling yourself the truth, then it goes through the window.
Yeah, Kia had something to say.
Yeah, and I also I agree with what everyone has said. When it comes to love, and as she has said, we all give love and receive love differently. You will realize that the definition of love to you defines how you are going to accept love, what kind of love you're going to accept. And it brings me to a point that I've realized that we are so realistic when it comes to other people's lives, but ours, we throw it out of the window because we're here and we're speaking, and then I'm so wise about love and stuff like that. Then you're going to hear something that I did because of love, and you're like, eh? Was that the same person? Is that the same person who said you should move out as soon as you're drained? But there are people who will be drained and they die there and they have this information with them. So I think our love is shaped differently. Because, for example, there are people who are used to abuse. Not that they're used, but they have grown in an environment where maybe someone was abused and they told them, oh, I'm doing this because I love you. And you find those things shape how they see love. If you have gone to communities, there are communities where there are high prevalence of domestic violence, and you talk to these people, and then they're going to tell you, no, it's a way of our men showing what? Showing us love. And then you from Kampala, you're like, what? But to them, that is their reality. They sit, they go to the wells, they talk as women. They're like, oh, your husband doesn't beat you. So these stories really differ from each person to what. And that's, I love that she said you should be knowing what you are, your identity. Because we find we go to extremes, these things of how far you go is because you have tied your identity to that thing. Even in personal relationship, you're like, oh, I'm nothing without these friends. But you're everything without them. That's why you're going to go to extremes, eliminate their other best friends with your fake rumors because you want this person to be only yours. Yeah. You're going to do extreme things because you've tied your identity to this. You're like, oh, I'm nothing without my business. I'm nothing without this man. I'm nothing without my friends. So we tie our identity to that, and that's what we call love. You're like, oh, if I'm not with him, I am nothing, but you are everything. You are everything before you met this person. So yeah. Try to remember. It was about can you love and be realistic at the same time.
And I remember when I asked the question, someone in the back just went,
Uh, what I would say is, at the early stages, I think it's very difficult to love and be realistic at the same time. If like I've met you, like we are all in a like. I think there's something that happens. You feel like you're not in this world. You're like no one is even around you. It's a new business. You feel like you're the only one who actually owns that kind of business. So you lose. Yeah, exactly. And you will feel like anybody cannot tell you anything. So I believe at the first stages it's not possible. But then as you progress and the realities start hitting, like if it's love with a person, we are in love. At some point we are going to reach a point where I feel like, oh, today I want to go have a drink with Rowan, and then I realize, oh my God, when did I last speak to Rowan? How do I start telling her, let's go have a drink? It's a year now. Then I start looking for her because I lost myself at that point. I wasn't being realistic about things and balancing. The business will go on very well because I had all the money to put in, and then at a certain point it's struggling and I need money. I cannot go to the bank. Then I I need to go to my friends to help me. But wait, where are they? When did we even talk about this business? The last time they tried to give me some advice, I was over the moon. Then you probably will start calming down. The reality start hitting in. And at that point, you will probably now try to start balancing love and being realistic. But there is a lot of factors that play. Right now we are talking about it's a topic, and our discussions, I believe, are kind of leaned towards that. But when you look at the real life, there's a lot that happens.
Yeah, like of course in the spirit of discussion, we're going to focus on the points that fit the topic, right? But in terms of life, and we're all adults here, so we know the variables. We have variables in life that we can fully control, right? But there is unfortunately for life, there is so many beyond our control that we never really factor in. Like the way all of you have mentioned, at some point you think you're the expert in that field. You're the first person you're in first 3 months. No one can tell you shit. But leave me. I know what I'm doing. That one. I know what I'm doing. Hey. I trust my gut. Yeah, but there is so many other variables beyond our control, right? I like when you look at contracts, so you're drafting contracts, there's something called a force majeure, and a force majeure basically is something beyond your control that would lead to the dissolution of the contract, right? And that is just life in general. And I think when we're approaching all these situations, whether when we're trying, how far can we go in terms of love? How can we balance love and realism? How do we, how can we be realistic when it comes to love? We're always factoring in the variables that we have control over, but there is so much around that we don't have control over, and it can pull and push us in any direction. And I think being able to be okay with that, being able to make peace with that, I think makes actually like how far we're willing to go in love a little bit easier. That is my uneducated opinion. Add that was a disclaimer. Jocelyn.
Oh, I didn't have anything to say. I was just
because you held the mic and you were looking at me like, yeah.
Because Galvin refused to hold the mic.
I was like waiting for a battle or something. But all right, finally to close us out. It's been like very interesting, and I like that Olivia brought this up because it's a very complex topic. There is so many other things beyond what we can control that can lead to how far we are willing to go to love. I do like what Kia said though about identity. Like normally how far we are willing to go is defined by how much of ourselves we've put into that thing, like how much of ourselves we've lost into that. Yeah, like how much of ourselves has bled into that, how much of me has bled into that business, how much of me has bled into that relationship, how much of me do I have left, that if this thing left, if this thing died, if this thing did not work out, would I survive? Find you seated at the bridge contemplating things. No, that was 26 million in month one. You go for a swim at the dam. So at what do they what at the floodgates? Real time the floodgates. The patrol be sleeping. Yeah.
I'm sorry. And you know what Kia said is right. You see, guys, if you do not know who you are, these days people say, what on the table? What you when you start to doubt your table.
I am the table.
You're the table. When you start to doubt your table, your table, you start to think one leg is shaking, the other, then there's a problem. Because then, you see, quite often, and that's why I said if I'm drained, yeah? Because you're going to put in so much. And that's why I think all of us have talked about losing who you are. You literally become mad at the world. You're going to be mad at the people. You're going to be mad at any business. You're going to be mad at the rain, at the sun.
Peva.
You're going to be mad. Basically, everything is the trees. You'll see Sandra walking. Like, why is she walking? You know? You see someone smiling. You're like, why are you smiling? When they don't smile, what is your problem? You know, it's everything. You just become angry because you've put in so much. What you don't realize, you're alone in this putting in. So when you're putting in alone, you get annoyed. Because why aren't you seeing I'm putting in? So
what
you get annoyed. You
Which
get
table?
annoyed. I'll be there. I'm like, why? Why? Everything is why?
No. I'm just chipping in something small from what she said. She reminded me a story told by the sister to my mom. She's like, I was walking past the bar. I didn't even have 3K in my pockets. And I had people coming out of the car and the DJ was playing Twazi Koze, Zaweze, Twazi Koze. I hate that song. When she talks about it, she's too passionate. Like, she really hates it. When it plays, she's like, that song takes me to that moment. It traumatized me. So I was just like, why is this one smiling? Why is this one talking? Like, I have problems. Why are you partying? What the heck?
Uganda Chinyuma. But in Uganda you are broke alone. Please
But that
take
is
note.
true.
In Uganda you are broke alone.
I've been seeing bills of 69 million.
Did you see? No, I was seeing a post on my wife's TikTok of Chama Girl when the guy said, "Can you believe this? These guys called me for a polo thing, just like supervising a polo game or something. So I told them I have work in the evening, so I need a plane to and fro, and I need around $500 per hour just to do work on that. So that by evening time I'm back. These Indians paid me fully. Like, you guys in Uganda, you are broke alone. Madivani people have money. So as they're saying, when you see the world, that's why we say that's why in Uganda there's a song for everything. Uganda Chinyuma. Yeah, because as you are there, you enter a bar, a guy swipes your salary for a full month. In one go, and he's still around. He's swiping. He's like, how much was that? 3 million. He's like, take the card. You're like, first wait.
Even buys the buy round.
Then even first says, guys, open round, like a beer for everyone. You're like, first wait. Am I in the same world with this guy? And the guy looks normal. Might even be having an iPhone.
But also, let us not force. Guys, I'm going to say this thing. And I think it's difficult when you're younger. And I think as we get older, we are trying to belong. We are trying to fit in. We are trying to get to be seen or visible. You know, most of us, I think most of our age brackets are from an era where we were almost invisible. Just see you coming back home. It's like you went through World War III, but you're home. You know, we were invisible, and we're at a point in life where we want to be visible. So let us learn not to force. If you feel like it's, let things flow naturally, honestly. Like he has said, don't put in too much work. Me, I realized that long time ago when I used to do 9 to 5s. You put in too much work, you be annoyed alone. You're putting in a lot of work, you be annoyed alone. You keep reminding them in meetings, but guys, I do this. I'm like, you start giving them your own CV. But they're working with you, they know.
You know what? And
So let us not force. Do what you can. If things, if the business is meant to work, if the relationship is meant to work, if the friendship is meant to work, don't overdo it, because you'll overdo it, you get annoyed even with the ground.
this is a ground dante. No, but I think and that I think is a very beautiful way to close us out. I mean, we've spoken about identity, we've spoken about being realistic in the things that we love. We've spoken about being realistic about being realistic. But I think at the end of the day, it does come down to, one, your ability to be yourself. I think your ability to be yourself within the things you love, within the dynamics of the things you love, gives you sort of like a bar in regards to how far you are willing to go, right? Like, your ability to be yourself means you won't lose yourself in the things that you love, regardless of how much you love them, right? Regardless of how much you treasure them, regardless of how much you value them. Your ability to be yourself, your ability to maintain your identity, your ability to stay rooted in who you are will give you that bar in regards to how far you are willing to go for the things that you love. I think also your ability to be yourself and stay true to yourself kind of also shapes the reality that you have regarding the things that you love. That is number 2. But number 3, like Arsenal fans told us before the Champions League, let it all work out. Let it all work out. It did not. But I think
Correction, champions of England,
yeah,
not
champions of
Europe.
Europe.
Please, let's be
Don't-
guided.
But
Go slow.
I think to add to what Rowena said, and yeah, I know she was talking about it in regards to the life that we are living and how we present ourselves. But I think the ability to move seamlessly through things. I'm not saying it can always be easy, especially when it comes to the things that we love, but it shouldn't constantly be difficult. And so your ability to just move seamlessly through those things, I think, and with an understanding that this is either meant for me or this is not meant for me, and your ability to decipher that, your ability to distinguish, I think makes everything a lot easier. And I mean, but at the end of the day, people, go out and love. It is okay. Love, don't become psychos, or don't start throwing eggs at people's cars. I'm not ready. I am not ready to bail anyone out of jail. I'm not ready to bail anyone out of jail. Producer. All right. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, close us out. Jocelyn is going to close us out.
No, I was just gonna say, I think it all, for me at least, it goes back to like your whole mindset. It doesn't really, like, yes, there might be those things that come in, but it's recognizing the little things that make it better. So, Taylor Swift lover, in her video Opalite, they talk about like spraying the Opalite on you, and then you start to see, and you're like, you have like awakening to something, and you're like, okay, so now I can see clearly. And then she goes to, of course, her new boyfriend instead of dating the things that she did in the past. So I think it's like all goes back to that, like, how do we view things first off? And also, who are we surrounding ourselves with? Because they say if you have negative people around you, then your mind is going to think that. And if you don't know, the synapses in your mind, they grow. So if I have those certain thoughts, they're going to continue to grow in your mind, because your mind is constantly changing, like your brain. So if it leads to all these negative things, then of course that's all you're going to think about every time you see something. But if you surround yourself with positivity and the people that would make you feel like this is a good job, because honestly, even with my work, I'm like, people come to me and they're like, oh, it's such a nice place, it's so good, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, okay, I've only seen the negative things. I haven't seen any of these positives that you're seeing. So yeah, so I think it just goes back to mindset ultimately, and whether or not you can truly love it.
Yeah. Am I? Oh, you're still running. Okay, Maurice has done this. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here with us tonight. Moro, Peace out. We'll see you all next Sunday, right? Let it all work out after. All right. Love. And be loved. Allow. Maurice, I swear if you're still recording.